say a bunch of cool shit.
All right, guys, we are live, and I'm just going to talk about some things that have been going on, some death curse news. I know you guys have heard what has happened with our printing situation. All backers, though, that have backed City of Rot have everyone's been shipped out their stuff, I believe. So I just can't wait to see you guys post it all. But we're running a second chance campaign. So let me just share my screen and I'm going to pull it up. So. All right. So this is our second chance campaign. It's second chance and damages. So if you missed out on City of Rot, we're back. And we have two books here. We have Return to Camp Rainbow and we have City of Rot. We have our metal launch variant bundle. I believe this is being taken down this week, our featured perk for this price here. So it's available until tomorrow. So, and I know if you backed before Monday, the 25th, you got a free 1-inch button with your order. So basically, we have all of our copies of City of Rot here. We have damaged copies and undamaged copies. Anything that's damaged, it can make for a good Halloween party gift or whatnot. If you're just looking for a copy to read, we have them. So our damaged copies are going for $1 for a Return to Camp Rainbow. We have a Buy the Girls a Drink perk. For me, it's Buy Me a Slim Jim. Beth definitely needs a drink, though. Our damaged newsprint copies of City of Rot are $2. Our undamaged copies are cover price, so $3. Our damaged launch duo is only $3. So like I said, if you're looking for just a copy to read, it's still readable. It's just not up to par with what we are happy with putting out. This set us back quite a bit. The printing company was highly unprofessional, how they dealt with everything. We have our 20-pack sketch card blanks going up here. We have our newsprint copy of City of Rot for $6. We have our launch duo pack for $8. These are undamaged. We have our damaged 10-pack for $9. Great things to give out around Halloween. We have sketch cover blanks now for $10. We have Vince Rush and Ben Soto's Virgin variant cover for $15. We have Spencer doing sketch cards. We have our damaged 10-pack of City of Rot. I wish this was in a different order, Spencer. We have our Wizard t-shirt here. 25. Shelby Robertson is doing a blood foil variant for us, and you are not going to want to miss out on this. This is definitely one of the perks here to back. Shelby is going to be sending in art soon for this. This is going to be so sick. You are not going to want to miss out on this. Jeff has some sketch cards available. Ryan has sketch cards available. Sam has some sketch cards available. Fabrizio does. We have our signed Darcy poster. We have our 5-pack of sketch covers here. And we are selling ads. So if you're looking to promote your shop, your book, whatever it is, we have 5 ads left. And we're going to get those in the variants that are printed. We're even doing international bundles for the metal. And we have our variant triple pack here. We have more things that are going to be announced too. We have some super cool things. And Spencer put up the Return to Camp Rainbow #2 script. The original script is up. The first one sold to a lucky backer. So I'm just going to, anyone that has already been familiarized with us has pretty much seen this, or if you backed our campaign, if you're new to us, then this was our campaign for City of Rot. So I'm just going to scroll through this real quick. And then we put in a surprise book because we had a lot of printing issues before these damages were even a thing. And we take pride in giving backers whatever it is that we feel that they deserve. So we wanted to give them a surprise book. And that surprise book was Return to Camp Rainbow. And that is this is going to be a longer term series. It's going to be a 13-part series. The cover to this book was done by, what was it? Jeff and Ryan Wynn inked it. So this is basically our slasher baby here from the crazy mind of Spencer. This is gory, and this is just fun horror madness. So basically, we have a lot going on with this campaign. So if you haven't backed, you probably do want to back as soon as possible, especially for the metal variants. Those are going to be extremely limited. And now I got to get to Edwin, who's been waiting patiently in the back, and we're going to take a look at his campaign and just talk. I haven't had Edwin on here for a while, and I want to catch up. He has some new things that he announced, and I'm curious about it all. So I'm going to pull Edwin on here right now. Hi, Edwin. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So where should we begin? Let's go to the ace, okay? So the first ace was great. The second one is going to be phenomenal. I really love this book because I feel that this book is just great for all ages. I was telling you backstage, like I gave my godson this book to read and he enjoyed it a lot. He definitely, Akula, he thought it was such a cool character. And you were saying like how this project is your baby.
Yes.
And I was saying like, how many issues do you think you're going to do with this book?
I would like to keep putting them out as long as I'm able to. I mean, I see this like as kind of an ongoing. I think there's a lot of stuff that I can do with this world, with the characters, introducing new characters and different kind of be able to grow each character. So, I want to be able to put out as many issues of the series as I can.
I'm just pulling up the campaign now. So you're in demand right now.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to have you on earlier, but this is when we were having like all these issues, like me with my health, and we just weren't able to stream. So I'm glad to see that, you are funded and you're just in demand here. So
Yep. Guest got a backer yesterday, so we're getting a little closer to the $7,000 stretch goal. We've been unlocking a couple ones already, so it's just kind of trying to keep that momentum. I set up a lot of art and stuff. My ability to kind of do the book ahead of time allows me to be able to have a lot of stuff in the bag that people haven't even seen. So like if we can keep kind of going up with more, it'll just unlock more cool stuff that you can get in this campaign. So it doesn't stop here.
I'm curious to see how the characters have developed from the first issue. Especially too, like how you left off the first issue at the end.
Yes. Yeah, it's this is a fun thing about like now that I've kind of got more experience writing different stuff, not just the second ace. I've done a short story for Alterna. I've done something for Passion for Drawing for his magazine. So I've also written like another project we're gonna talk about later. So I just kind of more comfortable as a writer. So I'm able to kind of just be able to hone in on the characters and the dialogue and everything, just kind of tighten everything up from the first one.
I love that you did like an Akula origin story because I think that definitely like Akula is just going to be such a popular character. Yeah. Like he's definitely like a fan favorite. He has such a cool design. I mean, come on, it's a shark. Like it's Shark Week. I got to bring up Akula, right?
Gotta. Yeah, no. It's awesome. Like he's been the breakout hit of the book. For the first campaign, anytime I'd show any sort of Akula image, it always got the most traction. It always got the most like comments and stuff. So like he doesn't play the biggest role in the second issue. So I wanted to have a little spotlight for him. If you're like a big on Akula and you want to see more of him, that origin story is gonna be for you. You're gonna love it. So it's a fun little kind of look into his past and kind of how he started to become who he is now.
I want to pull down this here. My camera is flipped tonight and I don't know how to fix it. So I'm going with it. I don't even know where I'm looking right now. I must be cross-eyed to you on the screen. Yeah. I mean, this is awesome. This gives me like, Street Sharks. When
Yeah.
I was a kid, there was the Street Sharks and I was like all about that. And that kind of gives me like that kind of vibes. I love it.
Yeah, I compare this. I like to call this short story a cross between Street Sharks and Sons of Anarchy. So anybody who's
That's
who's watched Sons of Anarchy will get some little hints of it, while also kind of being its own thing.
And then I'm curious to see what is going to happen with everything that's going on with Angelique here and just her being
Yeah.
a celestial and everything.
Yeah, she's the big bad of this issue.
Okay.
She ends up coming and making an amazing kind of like first kind of impression, first cameo. I think her like it's just like a fun introduction to her, and then she shows how dangerous she is through this whole this comic. Everything kind of gets taken up to the next level because she's not playing around. Akula likes to play around a little bit. It's kind of like his downfall.
Mhm.
He likes to fight. He kind of likes to put himself in tough situations. Angelique is just there to get what she wants, and she's not playing.
I mean, at the end of the first book, I mean, can I say this? Am I
Of course.
allowed to?
Yeah.
All right. At the end of the first book, we have her like standing there covered in blood with a mound of bodies underneath her.
Yes.
And basically just like, what was it that she said? What was it? Tell me where it is or whatever it is that she was looking for.
Yeah, she's
Like,
looking for the being that murdered her parents or her
yeah.
her aunt and uncle, whatever like her relation is. Basically murder her family, and then she was taken away, and then you see her as an adult,
Mhm.
and she's got the wings, and she's looking for vengeance, and that's what drives her. Her need for revenge, her need to kind of make things right. So she's motivated by the right things, but goes about it in not the best way.
Sounds like most women, to be honest. To be honest with you, it sounds like the most of us. So
Yeah, this is gonna be a sig metal print. I just
this
put
is
the
going to be
order
metal
in.
print here.
Yep, I just put the order in for Phoenix.
Oh
Hopefully
yeah.
not too long I'll have them in hand and I'll start showing them to people. But he did a great job with the first campaign.
Everyone
This
everyone
is
needs
actually
more. Let's
what
see.
we did for the first campaign is the Akula
Yep.
one. So if you back the first campaign and you back this tier, you could get this, and it is metal.
It is metal.
People sometimes get confused. They think it's like a shiny print. No, it's actually like a
Oh,
metal
it's
print.
metal.
You could damage somebody with this. So yeah,
I guess
I
that
think
he
the
can make
Angelique one's gonna be
Shrunkins.
better.
I guess that he could make like what is it, Shrunkins? Shrunkins? Am I saying it
Yeah,
wrong?
Throwing
Like,
Star. Yeah,
yeah, throwing stars. Like, I don't know why anyone hasn't made that for their campaign yet. I'm
yeah,
just
you
saying.
gotta find the right character. And maybe for Bloodbone, we might get those done.
Oh, we're
They
definitely
fit
gonna
'em.
have to talk about that because the design that you sent me is crazy looking. So I mean, it's like you're working on so much. I feel like
Yeah, it's
so.
just trying to stay busy, and then I'm one of those people like once I'm kind of like in a creative mood, I want to keep that
Mhm.
going because there are points where you hit a wall and you're kind of like, so you need something new to kind of spark you. And then once you kind of get that energy, I'm one of those people like I'll just start writing and creating
Mhm.
and reaching out to people and like just getting everything going.
Yeah, that's good because that way you never kind of hit like a wall with your
Yeah.
writing or anything and you continue to grow. I mean, a
Mhm.
lot of people complain that they get writer's block. I don't feel like you're that type of person because I feel like if you do feel like you're going to block to something, you just move on to the next thing and start working on that. Return to it. I mean, am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or
like definitely, I've hit walls like during like Ace Volume 3. It's a little bit of a struggle right now. I'm like 8 pages deep in it, and I have the story in my
Mhm.
head. Basically, I know where it ends. It's just about kind of getting it right. Like
Yeah.
being able to kind of translate it and give Canales his best ability to kind of know where everything is, but also let him play because Canales has only made the book better. anytime I let him kind of create and do his thing. So I just
Hmm.
want to make sure I can give him that window, and then he can kind of jump on and take it to the next level. So yeah.
Yeah, you two seem to have a really great working relationship. I feel that he really understands what you throw at him, it seems.
Well, yeah, he's been amazing to work with. I wish we could do more streams together, but where he lives and kind of where I live, and basically I'm only available to stream at night, and
Hmm.
by the time it's like 3 in the morning, by the time I want to stream. So, well, yeah, hopefully, we'll be able to do some more streams together in the future. But no, man, he's an amazing artist, and he's only gotten better. I think he's gotten more comfortable with the characters. Like, I think the work he does on this, especially when you see it fully colored by How, it's
Hmm.
gonna be incredible. The Angelique stuff is amazing. Like I
Oh
said, I'm
yeah.
so proud of this book, and just everybody's just taking their work to the next level. Like, as proud as I am of Volume 1, Volume 2 just blows it away, and I'm just excited.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be, I think, because all right, I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of times I read the volume one. I like it, okay? And I asked a question about like, oh, how many volumes, does it need? It was like last week or something. I asked something of the sort. I can't even remember because every day I'm asking a new question online. And people were like, oh, one issue. So what happens when you get to issue 2 and you're disappointed? Or issue 3 and it disappoints you? I need to read like 3 issues minimum to decide whether or not I'm going to continue investing in a series. That's me personally. And I expect the second issue to be better than the first one. And then I expect the third one to even be better than that. So you have to build momentum within the comic book industry, I feel. You can't just fall off.
Right. Yeah, to me, I'm a two-issue person.
Hmm.
Like, even if you don't blow me away with the first one, I'll usually give you a second chance if I find like the concept interesting.
Yeah.
But you got to get me by that second issue. Like, you gotta. They can't be playing around. So, and there's books who've lost me because they just kind of been doing the same kind of ass stuff from one to the other. You're like, nah, you got to kick it up to that next level for volume 2. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take my own advice here.
Yeah. And then volume 3, if volume 2
Um,
is next level, then what's volume 3?
oh, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I just gotta get it right. But the idea, I've run it past a couple people. Yeah, I get them people. Like I said, just kind of keep turning that knob up.
You have this on your campaign too, the Akula Smash Buddy. That's pretty
Yes.
cool. You have it
Oh
behind
yeah,
you.
that's right.
Spencer, do you want to make him full screen for a second?
This is
Can take a look
the
at this.
a
That's
very
so cool.
fun side project. I love that he's got the gun. That's
The back.
yeah, it's amazing. Like, little robot legs. He's jacked as all hell. So yeah, we put this up in the campaign. I think I'm gonna have a couple left over, just in case anything happens to them, because I gotta figure out how to
Mhm.
ship these things in the mail. But yeah, man, these are a nice hit. Hopefully, once some of the backers get them, they'll send some pictures with the kids and stuff. Because I have a niece,
Yeah.
she ended up actually taking the first one of these.
Oh,
She was
really?
beating it up for like a couple of days, and it held up well. So you can beat up this thing. It is a slam buddy after all. So yeah, so pretty awesome. Hopefully, I can do another one for volume 3. I just gotta talk to them and see exactly how deep and how much they can create. Because I would love an Angelique one, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they can get anything close to like the wings or anything, or that
Mm.
design would even work for them to do. So I know they can do the ace,
Yeah.
but I would love an Angelique one. I think it would just make it a lot of fun. But I gotta kind of see like what they can do.
It seems like to me that she's starting to become like one of your favorite, like more of your one of your favorite characters in a
Oh yeah,
way.
like I've had her arc planned for a while. That's why I
Okay.
wanted to do her little origin story, because
Mhm.
I didn't want to like play around. I wanted to have her just come in on volume 2. Like I've had already how she was gonna enter and debut and everything for a minute. That's why I kind of added the origin story, so I can get people kind of, all right, they know her, they can kind of get an idea what she's gonna be like, and
Be
then
like,
I can just introduce her in volume 2 and kind of take it to the next level.
and this here is the cover for the second printing.
Yep, that's by Joe Ball. He was kind enough to do this amazing cover for me for the second printing of volume 1.
Yep.
Uh, just absolutely incredible work. I actually have the original hanging on my wall. People have wanted me to put it up on the campaign. I'm like, no, I'm keeping that one. Sorry, can't have that one. That one's for me.
Yeah, he has such a distinct style too. I can always recognize his artwork anywhere.
Yeah, it's just
It's just really, really distinct and very cool looking. So, so your stretch goals, you said that you're almost at. So right now, automatically, if anyone backs, they're gonna get these stickers here, right? By 6 a.m.
we unlock these. It's a set of four. Uh, so you're gonna get the godless, which are these new characters that are being introduced in the book. There's this alien task force that has come to Earth to bring the Ace back to their planet. And I just love. I'm a big fan of 6 a.m. I love his take on characters, and I think these will go great with the first set he did for me, which
Yeah.
featured the Ace, Angelique, and Akula. So it'll be a nice kind of matching set by 6 a.m.
And then this here.
Yeah, this is the trading card by Sim, colors by Michael Beacon.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so that got unlocked too at 6K.
And then this is what is going to unlock.
At 7. So once you get past 7, this special hardline Ace versus Vane print. Thanks to Phil for letting me borrow his character Vane. I love his design. And I just wanted to do something fun. We had the hardline poster that we did for the first campaign.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do another kind of tribute to the hardline. Everybody knows us. We'll hang out. We're all like late night plotting and bouncing ideas off each other. So it was only fair to kind of give you a little something fun piece. You never know what could happen in the future.
And this here is basically your last unlock here at 7.
Well, for now, like I
For
said,
now.
we got more fun stuff, but we like to announce it as we cross the stretch goal. So once we get close to 7, right, we're right there, then I can drop what we'll do for 8.
All right. So, what was your biggest challenge working on this volume in comparison to the first one?
I'm mostly just kind of learning from the first one. I spent a lot of time with the first book, but I can see kind of like some of its faults.
Okay. So, like what? Where's the fault that you found?
The
Now that you
biggest-
brought it up, I have to put you under pressure
No,
now.
no, I don't mind talking about it. The biggest fault is like there's not enough pages in the main story.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm self-funding the book ahead of time, so I kind of had to make a choice about page count. So I kind of there's like a point in the Akula Ace fight that I had more stuff that happens in there, but I just had to cut it and just kind of make the fight a little shorter. I think it would have been more impactful to see a longer fight and kind of, really kind of get to see more of Akula, get to see how Ace kind of deals with trouble. But I just had to make like a financial decision for that one. It's something that I learned for the second book. I want to make sure that I had enough pages, so I didn't cut anything from volume 2. Like everything is as many pages as it needs, especially the first. I went from 17 pages to 24. So I just kind of lets that main story breathe more, and I think it's just tighter and better. So that's kind of the biggest kind of takeaway from one to the other.
I'm gonna take a look. Want to take a look at the trailer? I'm gonna take a
definitely.
look at the trailer for anyone that hasn't seen it or anyone that's catching the stream later.
Before
on
you
today.
do, just want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
I've been doing some special giveaways for people who back the book anytime on stream. This right here is a special 4-page ash can of a story that is in the anthology Sim did last year.
Let's tweet this out.
It's called the David Diaz origin story. It's basically talks about him and his dad, which anybody who read the first book, you don't know anything about David's dad. So it explains a lot in this little 4-page ash can. I had these only printed for friends, but I had like an order messed up, so they sent me a bunch of extra ones from Kablam, as you can see. So yeah, I have a bunch available. So if you back the book at any tier tonight, I'll give it to like midnight Eastern. I will throw in one of these. These are very limited. Like I said, I think only like 5 or 6 people have it. They're mostly hardliners, and I think like one or two other backers. I think some of the guys who backed the original art tier in the first one got one. So I have, I think, about like 6 or 8 more. So if you back it, you'll get this very exclusive story, art by Barbusco, and it tells you a little behind the scenes stuff about David and his dad. And I think it's really cool. I think it's might maybe when I do like the trade collected, I might include it and maybe get it colored and stuff. I think it's a really kind of interesting story that tells you a little bit of more about David and his relationship with his father. So yeah.
So I'm sure it's probably a little bit like pulls at your heartstrings a bit, I feel
Oh
like.
yeah, definitely.
And it makes me wonder too, the connection with his father, does that have anything to do with anything that happened in the first book? Basically with him, you know, I mean, basically with him getting his kind of powers and everything. So,
Not related to like powers, but it is related to how David kind of is and some of his
yeah.
background a little more.
Hmm.
You kind of see like, I'll spoil a little bit of it. Uh, his dad is a former boxer,
Okay.
so his dad basically teaches him from young how to defend himself, how to take care of himself, you know, how to fight basically. It's basically as a last resort, but no, he knows how to handle himself. He also knows like responsibility that, he learns kind of like how serious it is when you do fight, like he kind of teaches him, and that kind of gives him like a sense when he's older of like, when he has to fight and when he doesn't. And he also gives him, he knows how to fight. It's basically like another thing. Like David, doesn't have some sort of great like amateur background or anything, but he's a fighter. He's like one of those street fighters. You're like, like they may not be the most taught, but they, you don't kind of want to mess with them. You don't want to take a chance because you might get knocked out. So David kind of has that background to him. So it's something that it kind of like establishes some of his backstory. So when you see him getting into like tussles, it doesn't scare him. You know, violence doesn't really scare him. He sees it from another
Hmm.
way because he saw his dad fight when he was younger, and his dad, got into a lot of brutal fights when he was younger, and, in the ring and stuff. So he kind of saw that. So he's not afraid of violence and kind of how to, when you gotta throw down. And I think I wanted to have that background for him as a character, you know, knowing that he grew up a certain way. So like even though he's put in these fantastic situations, if he has to fight a cooler, he will fight a cooler, you know. So I kind of wanted to kind of put those kind of sides of him together before he got his power, so what kind of person he is, even without the powers. If he had to like take on somebody or something, he would do it just because that's how he was wired and how he was trained since he was young. So
Yeah, you can't have any fear. And then basically, if you walk away from a fight, even if you lost, basically, what it seems like his mentality is you still earned your respect because you didn't back down. That's
yeah,
what it seems like to me. I mean, I'm from that generation where it's like
hmm,
pain is temporary, pride is
yeah,
forever. So it
yeah,
seems like David is a lot similar in that aspect too.
definitely.
You don't back down. And then when you know how to fight, right? You have to think about when and where is it appropriate to in an aspect. Do you have to restrict yourself in some way in some situations? I mean, if you know you can really hurt someone and someone might be running their mouth, or you got to think about it. Is it even worth it? I'm going to really hurt this person.
Yeah,
So there's always that. Aaron is saying that he loves that background about why he isn't afraid to fight.
yeah, thanks,
So
brother.
I love that too. That like resonates to me with how I grew up. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
with my
it's like
dad.
people don't really like when I say I've been with the Ace for a long time,
Yeah.
yeah, like I've really had time to like go deep on like each character and what kind of drives them and what they do. And like I said, I try to put little things about it in each thing I do. Like I said, that was for an anthology Sim did, I think like 3 years ago. Forgot how long it's been now. And I love the story. Like I said, I might just add it to like an Ace collection and get it fully kind of colored, because I think it's really touching, and
I think you
it kind
should.
of gives great insight. So like, yeah, if you want it, back the Ace, and I'll send that out to you when get your mailer.
Yes. So, yes, everyone should be backing this book because, like I said, I think this is a book that everyone can enjoy. You know, it's not, you don't, your demographic for this book is everybody, as far as I'm concerned. I don't feel it's everybody that likes to read comics and wants a well written comic with just fun characters in it, you know? So, I love it. There's escapism in it, but there's also like a little dose of reality too, but it's balanced out perfectly. So, Spencer, where are you at? I want to show this trailer. There we go. All right. I'm going to mute myself while I show this. And, well, I'm going to get off camera to show this and then mute myself. But let's take a look. That music makes me all amped up.
Yeah, I love the theme that Red ended up coming up with for the Ace. Asked him to keep the same music for the second trailer. I was like, I just love that. Kind of like it's like something you'd see like in one of those early '90s cartoons.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So, what was your favorite thing about working on this volume? If you had to pick anything, like what is it within this?
My favorite thing is always getting back finished art. Like when I first got that the fully colored panel of like Angelique making her entrance, I was like just completely just blown away and just looking at this like, yes, this is exactly what I knew it was going to be good. But when you see the finished pieces, seeing like the pages Hal did for the Akula origin story, finally getting the
Mhm.
fully colored, the stuff Swings did for the epilogue. Like anytime I'd get any kind of finished art page, I would just be blown away by it.
I have a cat jumping on my laptop right now, as you can see. I gotta move her. Sorry about that.
So yeah, no, anything, anytime, like I said, anytime I get art, it's always like that that little pick me up, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of sometimes you get so caught up into stuff, you always wonder like, what am I doing this for? Like, what's the point of this? Like, I'm driving myself nuts. Then you get like some awesome art, and you're like, yeah, this is why I'm doing it, because it's great to like make comics and like, you know, have your stories come to life. So
It's absolutely the best feeling in the world because you put so much time and effort into it and so much of your heart in it. I think people don't realize that about creating comics unless they've gone through the process of creating one themselves, you know.
yeah, like I basically, you know, I'm a guy who basically bet on himself, you know, to take a chance to create a comic book with no like real uh, comic experience behind them. I just had an idea and, you know, a lot of kind of will to make it happen. So, you know, along the way, I ended up attracting some amazing artists who helped kind of craft the vision. And here we are.
And I mean, you have some great perks up here too, and they're all very affordable. So, would you want to go over some of your perks
Yeah.
here?
So we ended up removing some things from like the first 60 days once
Hmm.
we went in demand. But for now, for the in demand, we have the featured perk is a copy of the Ace, copy of the Ace Volume 2, and the space print all together in one bundle. So that's kind of the main featured one there for $45.
That's a great deal.
Then we have kind of basically the solo options. You're able to get like the space print by itself. You're able to get a copy of Volume 2 by itself and the copy of the Volume 1 second printing by itself. And also have a bunch of add ons. So if you want to add, you click, let's say, second printing of,
Hmm.
you know, Volume 1, you could add in a space print. You could add in Volume 2 to it. So we try to make it as easy as possible.
Possible.
And then, you know, we also got the combo tiers there. You see volume 1 and 2. And then we also have these two Passion for Drawing sketch cards left.
That's
They're
sick.
fully colored. Yeah, like he did an amazing job on this. He just sent me the tracking info. So I should have these in hand a couple of days. Yeah, like he does an amazing job with these right here. Like he did some for the first campaign also.
Hmm.
So I think these are even better. Like I said, I'm always just remark, man, these artists that I work with just completely they just amaze me. As good as their stuff was in volume 1, they just take it to the next level in volume 2. So
Improving
yeah,
too. So it's
it's
like you're
awesome.
both improving together in a
It's
way.
great.
I mean,
It's
someone got to scoop this up.
definitely. Yeah, so there's two
That's fun.
available. Everything else basically sold out so far. We have a bunch of other sketch cards. Joe Ball did some sketch cards. Sim did some. Those are all sold out right now. So yeah, thank you to everybody. Just you know,
Yeah.
the support's been great.
You just got to get to that 7 grand.
That's right. And then I want to get, well, like I said, I do got some cool stuff coming. So, you know, once you get really close to it, I'll kind of show everybody what the 8,000 stretch goal is. And like I said, like a lot of stuff has been like done way ahead of time. So like it's all just basically sitting in my Dropbox and I can just bust
Hmm.
it out and just, you know, it's ready to go. So,
At any time.
yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I mean, your campaign, you're very generous with your campaigns. As someone that backed your first campaign, you're very generous with everything. So anyone that backs your campaign is going to get their money's worth.
And definitely if you back the first one, you know, you'll definitely get stuff that goes with your first backing. Like, you know, you have
Hmm.
the Akula metal print, we have the Angelique metal print. You got the 6 a.m. stickers. All that stuff kind of goes together. So it becomes like really exclusive. If you've been following from the start, you've been able to get all these kind of cool different things.
Sorry, my headset just lagged on me. You just echoed in my ear. I heard what you said. It just took me a minute to process it because there was an echo on my side. And I don't know if that storm is starting to hit us. So
Now it's
you did a short for
downpouring
all
over here.
so it's heading this way then.
Yeah.
Um so you did a short for Alterna too,
Yes.
correct?
Yep. It was the, let's see if I have a copy of it.
Yeah, pull it up.
Mm.
So, Peter is very selective.
Is just give me one quick second.
Yeah. But yeah, we all know because Spencer has books with Alterna, Boyd Walker and Can't Kill Cade. Peter is very selective with what he takes into Alterna, what he's going to put out under the Alterna name. So if you get selected in Alterna, there's something special about your work. Yes. And I have that too. And that was a great cover as well.
Yeah, I mean, my first ever real published piece of writing, or first ever real published comic, aside from my own, obviously.
How did that feel?
Incredible. I mean, you got Kenneth Rocker full cover. My story's the last story on this. So you get to kind of close out the book, which is perfect. And it's just like I said, yeah, when I reached out to Peter and he approved it, it was an amazing kind of moment. And just like, I'm super proud of the story. I want to do more with it. It's just one of those things where like there's not enough time, there's not enough money. There's just not enough.
No, you have to continue with that story, whether you submit more of it to Peter or whatnot.
Look at this, man. Avery is just incredible. Like the deep kind of blacks, the way he was able to kind of get the mood of all the characters.
There's a versatility for your writing. You're very versatile with what you write. And you know what? That was the book that I actually chose for my shop to get an ad in. The shop that I work in from time to time. So, and that was something we sold out of as well. It came out on Wednesday. We sold out of that.
I mean, just like I would say, like for the price point that Peter's giving you, and then you got a lot of fun stories, and like, he's got a very thorough vetting process. So, like stuff's going to be quality. So like, like you can't really go wrong with that. So.
No, not at all. And then Alterna will bring in more of an audience for your future projects as well. Because Alterna, the people that support Alterna are the most supportive human beings I have come across within the comic book industry. And once they like your stuff and see it out, they're going to follow you anywhere you go with whatever side projects you have and whatnot. So this is going to work out beautifully for you. That though, you either should continue it doing that story with Alterna, and then eventually, compile it into one book and put it out in a campaign, put it in color. Because you have such a versatility for your writing, and it always, like, when I think of how new you are to comics, it's like, why did it take so long for you to get into it?
Like I said, it's kind of the perfect storm, when I grew up, I definitely wanted to work for Marvel. I always wanted to be an artist. Had dreams of being in the bullpen. Like I thought the bullpen was real. But once you get to a certain age and the kind of artist dreams don't really go your way, you kind of end up hating life. And then, like I said, for a long time, I think like the entry to comics kind of closed after like the bubble burst and everything. A lot of these companies really started being more selective. Like back in the day, you could just show up with a portfolio and get a job. Like you could show up, be like, hey, this is what I got. Somebody likes it. They're like, you're hired. Let's put you on Marvel, backup story or something. Let's get you started. Those doors closed after like around like 2000. Like you had to know somebody that knew somebody, and then a third person. Like that became impossible. And it's only through like the indie comics movement that like you've been able to kind of do your own thing without anybody kind of, having to open the door for you, open up my own door and walk through it.
And you have a new project that you're working on. Do you want to share some of that?
Yeah, we're just doing a little teaser for now. This is coming in we're looking for like probably the winter. I assume probably October, November. It's a little something I've been working on behind the scenes with Donald DeLay.
I was going to say that the artwork right away when I saw it, I was like, that has to be Donald. It has to be. because he always talks about slapstick. It's a particular, has he ever told you about his love of this comic?
Oh yeah.
But it definitely, like, his art style in ways is inspired from that comic book, and that kind of gave me that feel. So you can pull it up and share screen, see if Spencer will see it. This is just so cool looking. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah. So the art's gonna be by Donald. You see right there. That's just a little kind of mock-up cover. The colors and the blood bone kind of logo are by How Comics. And yeah, basically, Bloodbone is the story of a guy who ends up having to become a vigilante to clean up his city. He comes back to his city after some time away, and he notices that it's been taken over by gangs and corrupt people, and that they've definitely done a lot of damage and hurt innocent people. To get because they're greedy and want power. So basically, Bloodbone has to take it upon himself to clean up the city, and there's nobody gonna save him, so he has to do it the hard way.
Wait.
It's basically bloody, violent. The character in many ways is like a combination of Bane and like Arrow. He's kind of driven like Arrow is in the early seasons of the TV show, but he's basically like Bane. He's a big powerhouse, and he just loves to smash skulls, and then just kind of, if you're a bad guy, he has like no sympathy for you. He will just break your bones, and he's just a lot of fun. Like I said, I love working with Donald. He always kind of does different things that I never expect, and it's just kind of fun, over the top, and kind of awesome. It's a very kind of throwback comic, and something that, like, I don't think there's been too much of, really. A character like this, kind of this more kind of like hard edge, just like smashing villains, and he's doing it for the right reason, but he's also not taking any shit from anybody. So, and you can just let him loose, like like I said, because of who he's fighting and what he's fighting for. You don't have to feel guilty about him breaking people's legs and limbs and throwing them off wherever. Like, he can just destroy as much as he wants, and he's kind of, you kind of cheer him as he does it. So yeah,
I love it.
it's gonna be a 12-page ash can. The 12 pages already drawn. Just got to get them lettered, and then I'm working on a cover right now. So we'll kind of show that off. Still kind of thinking about how to like exactly launch this, whether it's Indiegogo, whether it's putting it up on a store, whether it's I'm just gonna do it myself, kind of like Joe Zontag did for his ash can.
You know
But
what? That is actually the smart thing to do, in my opinion. Joe made an extremely intelligent decision by doing that. That's like my opinion on that. I think that if you did it yourself, you'll generate enough interest, and then you can run your campaign. I think that's like the best way to navigate, and find your audience for this particular book, which I feel like this is going to have a huge audience, just because this is so fun and it's so out there, and it hasn't been done in a while.
yeah,
So this is definitely something that's needed. Is there going to be like a comedic element to it a little bit? Like,
yeah, he's got some humor. Not like, I wanted to kind of draw the line where it doesn't become like too like silly. But yeah, there's definitely like humor elements to kind of like the situation.
yeah.
And like I said, it's one of those things where you can just kind of cheer on Bloodbone as he does his thing. Well, you don't have to feel guilty about like what he does and who he does it to. So, like I said, it's definitely a different kind of take and a different kind of comic. And like I said, I've already got like 12 pages in, so I figure like, hey, make it an ash can, put it out, get a cover, and then kind of see what the response is, and then maybe if it does well, you put out like a actual like maybe 24 or 32 page something that's kind of more complete. We'll get it fully colored, all that kind of stuff later. But I thought this was like perfect, especially coming off the Ace. I just kind of wanted to do something else, like it's gonna be a little minute till volume 3 comes, so I just thought like this is kind of perfect. This is so different and just kind of, but still cool and still something I'm really like happy with. So it's something I can kind of get on and promote and talk about. And yeah.
Where'd your idea for this come up?
Oh, this was a one late night hangout session. Me and the guys were bullshitting about whatever, and we were talking about names or like all the blood names from like the '90s and stuff. And Phil, I was like, I started like throwing out a challenge. Like, is there what blood name can we come up with that we can make a comic for? And then everybody just started throwing out stuff, and then Phil was like Bloodbone, and I was like, yes, that's it. I know who Bloodbone is. I know who Bloodbone exactly is. So I just kind of started like that, and then I know Donald, so I could always reach out to him for
Yeah.
anything. So he was down to draw it. Like I said, the 12 pages in, already kind of locked in. So I just like, yeah, people got to see this. This is too much fun. I don't, I got, I'm gonna start fulfilling. Hopefully, the next couple of months. I'm already ordering proofs and stuff, and kind of. I just ordered the trading cards and trying to crunch the numbers to see how many mailers I need and all that stuff. So that process is beginning. So to have the kind of this on the side, I think it'll be good because I had the alternative book on the side as I was promoting, volume 1. So there's something else I could promote. So this I want to have something else as I'm promoting. It's been I've been going hard probably the last 6 months for volume 2. So it'll be good to kind of have something else I can promote and talk about and show off.
You're always keeping busy too.
Gotta. Like I said, that's what motivates you. If you hit like a wall on something, you could always switch out to the next thing, and it helps get that energy again. Then when you revisit the other thing, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see it now, and I can get to work back on that too. So that's what it's about.
Do you think that that's something that more creators should do or not be afraid to do? Because some people, I feel like they just want to invest everything into one thing at a time. They're too
Uh,
afraid to branch out, start working on something else, and then returning back.
yeah, I
Have
mean,
you
I
have you
get it.
found
Like,
that?
I definitely get like that kind of like nervousness around like, should I do this and that? But like I said, to me, it's like, I don't care how much you love something, you can't just be 24/7 about it. At least I can't.
Hmm.
I can't just be ace, ace, ace every day. It's like I need something
Like
else
tunnel vision.
because then like you don't know if you're actually are you doing your best work or are you just like going through the motions to do it. And I found like working on other projects. Like I said, I had the Viking story for Alterna. I had the story I wrote for Passion for Drawing. All that stuff like gives me motivation to so when I visit the ace, I can get that new kind of newfound energy, that newfound drive. I'll learn something from everything other project that I do. I learned something that I can take towards the ace, and it just makes like stuff on that better. So I gotta have other stuff that I can kind of turn pace to because I'll drive myself nuts. Like you can't just be like 24/7 on the same thing. I don't think it benefits you or the work. So
What did you do with Passion for Drawing?
I did a story for Tales of Novatero magazine that he's doing.
Oh,
I had
okay.
he has like 4 like actual written stories. Me, I think Eddie Winkler, Phil. I'm
Yep.
forgetting somebody, sorry, but it's been a while. I've been kind of knee deep into Ace. So yeah, so he's actually getting them illustrated. Sim's gonna be illustrating, so it'll be my story, and then it'll be an illustration by Sim of like the story, kind of
What was the
giving.
premises of it? Because that was a project that I was very interested in just because this was a lot of fantasy aspects
Yeah, no,
in
Tales of
it.
Novatero is gonna be amazing. I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. It's basically it tells the story of this guardsman who ends up going to a bar and telling the innkeeper about how his night went,
Mhm.
and it didn't go well. So he tells a nice kind of story that I think is really yeah, actually probably might be the single best written thing I've ever done. Because it's not in my wheelhouse. I'm not a fantasy person.
Oh, I
I don't
am.
really,
That's
I
why I
don't,
need
yeah,
to hear about what you wrote.
like I said, I had to really sit with this for a while. Like I was telling Passion, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm the right guy, but he's like, no, I know you got this. So he had confidence in me, and like I said, once I kind of started getting the brain turning, I just thought like I found this angle to it, and I like I said, it might be the best thing I've written. Uh, it's just like a really interesting story, and like it actually motivated me to see if he wants to me to do more in the future. I would actually love to because it actually got me like motivated, kind of got me into this world that I don't normally rock with. So yeah, it's kind of fun. And like I said, you
Oh,
got Phil, you got all these other guys who are like amazing writers, and they're telling great stories, and the art is second to none. Like Joe Ball, Preston Acevedo, Pat Maxton,
mhm.
killers. Like
It's a
and
killer lineup.
the pages on this are insane. Like you haven't even seen anything. Pat hasn't even showed off the best pages. Like trust me, if you haven't backed it, go check it out, man. It's gonna be sick and like gonna be crazy.
The thing about fantasy is what fantasy I think does more than any other genre, okay? Is that it teaches you how to world build, and it also teaches you a lot about character development. Have you ever watched a game of D&D? Have you ever been around some people that play D&D, how they build their characters up?
Yeah.
Look into it. It's very interesting. Or just look at the D&D character sheets or whatever role-playing RPG they have, like that's tabletop. Look into some of it. Look into how they create their characters and the world building that goes into it. There is so much that you probably learned just from working on that, and you
Yeah.
probably really push your limits. Me,
Mhm.
I'm very picky with the fantasy stuff. So I'm curious to see what it is that you wrote and because I know that you're a versatile writer. I want to say a lot of people that he chose for that project are actually have versatility to their writing. So that's interesting to me because I didn't even catch, and I backed that too. I didn't even catch that you were even on, and I was like, wait, what project? But then again, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a little while ago. Passion's been working hard on like trying to make sure getting everything finished up for that. So
I
yeah,
actually
people are
I
gonna be
want to.
excited when it drops.
I actually want to back another copy for a gift for my friend in Texas because that's
Yeah,
something she'd be into. So I probably should do that
for
at
sure.
some point.
If you got any friends who are into that, like I said, Passion is for real about
Hmm.
fantasy. That's his thing. Like
Well,
that's
that's
like his
that's
number
my
one.
thing
Yeah.
too. That's like my number one
So
baby.
where he wanted to make sure this is right. So like that's somebody you can trust. Like this is his baby. So
Hmm. So, because you've written now, I would say you at least have what? This is going to be four different genres of comics you have under your belt.
yeah.
You know, what would you say? Would you say the fantasy one was your biggest struggle? Which one is your biggest struggle? Which one do you feel is the easiest for you to write? You know, or like
Yeah.
basically, like I'm just because there's so many different styles.
Yeah, the fantasy was definitely the hardest. I had to
Okay.
sit with that story for a long time, and it actually kind of scared me. It kind of scared me that kind of good way. It kind of scared me how like writing the first script for the Ace Volume One scared me. It's that first kind of like, can I do this? Can I really tackle this? And like I said, it took a lot of prodding, but I was able to finally get into it. Like I said, it really kind of sparked me to do more. What came easiest, the Ace usually is the easiest thing, just because I know so much about these characters, and like like I have so many ideas and stuff. Even though sometimes the actual writing process isn't easy. Like I said, like I have volume 3 in my head. Like I could basically give you like a starting point all the way to the end. I could just tell it to you, but it's just about writing it and make sure that it's right. So Canales has an easy job. He can just get the pages and do the best work he can do. That sometimes can be a little bit of a struggle, and I don't like to write if I'm not 100% like invested or focused, because I've
Mm.
tried that, and stuff doesn't come out right. Like I said, I tackled the fantasy story a couple of times, just kind of writing something down, and I was like, nah, I don't feel this. Like I have to be fully just like locked in and be like, I'm not listening to nothing. The phone's not on, nothing's on. I want complete silence. I don't want to hear the cat. I don't hear nothing. Like I need to be here, right here with this, and then I can write and really kind of. And once I get started, then it becomes easier. Like once I get like the first kind of paragraph or two down, then it all starts to roll. But it's just that initial kind of writing thing. That's still always like a bit of a kind of a struggle until you actually get into a groove.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on a lot of that stuff, you know. So, how do you feel that you have grown as a writer since your first book? I mean, you must feel that you've grown tremendously.
Yeah.
Like in what way would you say? Where is now your strongest point at with your writing?
A lot of it, the biggest thing is confidence,
Okay.
knowing that this is possible. There's like that initial kind of like, is this possible? Like, is this any good? All these kind of thoughts that run through your head when you're first writing. And a lot of that stuff stops people. It stopped me at points. The fact that you're able to overcome that and know, like, no, I can actually write. Like, I remember just reading the actual proof that I got of the Ace Volume 1 and reading it a bunch of times and like revisiting it. Like, I'd read it and then I'd wait like 6 days and read it again. Then I'd wait like 3 days, read it again. And I just kept doing like, I've read this in all sorts of moods and all sorts of things. Like, this is good. Like, it might not be the greatest thing you've ever like read in
Mhm.
your life, but reading this as somebody who's read comics for like 30 years, you know, this is good. Like, I remember reading that, just thinking that to myself, like, this is actually good. Like, I had to like, oh, that almost had that breakthrough moment of like, oh, this is actually good. Like, I'm not on some BS. Like, this is actually good.
I
And
could
that
do
kind of
this.
that really kind of set me up to like get that confidence. Like I said, volume 2 was easy to write for the most part. Like volume 2, I felt so confident in the characters, the story,
Mhm.
everything I wanted to do. It was just breeze like that. I just tackled it quickly. Like the stuff with like I had to do some kind of last couple pages of the main story. I had to do some rewrites on for me and Canales. This one, man, it just flowed. Like the first story, I think there were some tweaks I had to do for maybe the epilogue, but the
Mm.
Akula origin story, that all just flowed. Like I just felt really confident about everything. And like when I got the art back and everything, and I got it lettered, I'm reading the digital proof. I'm like, this is so much better than the first one. Like that's just my thought of it. I'm like, I just feel like more comfortable. You can see the growth everywhere. And like I said, working on these other projects also gave me that extra confidence. Like once I got the go ahead from Peter that he
I
liked the
mean,
Viking story, like, and he liked it a lot actually. He wanted to know if like I had more pages and more stuff. So I was like, yeah, easy, Peter. Like, let's start with this here. But
that's like that's let me tell you, that is a high honor from Peter.
yeah,
That
no,
is a very high honor. So at some point you do have to return back to that.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
like
you have a good
I already,
rotation.
I've already been, I've already written something for more pages. Just I there's also a thing about like as much as I would love to do all this stuff, you also have to know how to pace yourself and how to because
Mm,
I work a 9 to 5.
okay.
That's the reason why I'm only available at nights because I get home and then I eat. I mean, I take a quick shower, and then if somebody has me on, I can stream late night. So like the amount of hours I actually have, that like I said, there's just not enough hours. Maybe they're like 32 or 34 hours in a day. I
Yeah,
might be able to fit it in, but
I
not
feel you
not
on
with
that.
24. Yeah.
I feel you on that, trust me. I feel like I'm always working and then my
Yeah.
streams are later at night too.
Mhm.
I get asked if I could stream earlier. Sometimes I can make an
Yeah.
exception, but a lot of times I can't.
Yeah. It's
It's
like
just, the
it's hard.
everyday grind on top of doing all of this stuff because
Hmm.
I have all my editorial stuff with Death Curse. And then I have like a project I'm working on. And then I have a project I'm working on with Death Curse that's going to be my first book that's coming out. So yeah, always on the clock. Is Spencer too. Spencer's always working too. He's a madman. I guarantee you he's doing something with the books that we have. Like anyone that probably backed our campaign now because we have it, he's probably getting ready to ship things out. I know him. He's like already doing fulfillment before fulfillment has even happened. So
Yeah, that's gonna be another thing. Like when I'm in fulfillment, that's gonna basically take all my
oh
time.
god.
Like anything extra is like, nope. just fulfillment.
Nope, not
Only that's
happening.
all. Nothing extra, nothing else allowed. It's just, you know, you gotta get those boxes in, gotta get the mailers in, all that fun stuff.
Packing books and printing
Yeah.
5x7 sketch blanks. I knew it. I knew it. I swear I am like me and Spencer are twins in a past life, and I just have a sense of what it is he's doing. And he's probably taking cigarette breaks in between. I know him. Oh man, my only regret is that I wasn't streaming around the time that this first went out because I I wanted to get you on so badly. You know, it's a different feel when the campaign's alive than in demand. You know,
Yeah,
whenever you do a Bloodbone or Ace Volume 3 or whatever it is, I'm getting you early.
yeah, definitely.
You can hold me to it. You know, and it's going to be different too because I'm going to have read the Ace Volume 2. So, and I'll be asking all these questions
Yeah, no,
because
I
no
love, I
matter
love.
what you do, no matter what you do, I got to return back to the Ace. Yeah, I know. I got to get both you and Donnell on. I had Donnell on here by himself, and I had
Yeah,
have you by yourself. So I got to get you both on at the same time
yeah, well,
for
that'll be
Bloodbone.
interesting. Yeah, Donald's a character.
Oh, Donnell's great. He's gonna be. He's gonna be streaming from his bathroom, and that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, he'll be cooking. He'll be on the grill.
Making a steak. Well
It's just
done.
like, yeah, guys, just here grilling, while I'm on the stream. Just don't mind me. So,
Oh my God. Is there anything else that you want to add about this campaign here?
no, just mostly want to say thanks for the support, everybody. Always appreciate, the fact that I get to live the 13-year-old me's dream. So, thank you for that. Like I said, stay tuned. Please follow me on Twitter. I'm at Edwin Aces. That's where any sort of Ace news or
It's
anything
gonna
about
be
Bloodbone, anything about anything will be there. That's the best place that you can get a hold of me. And yeah, thank you for having me
yeah,
on. It was a lot of fun.
yeah. What advice would you give to anybody that's starting out? That's my last
Um,
question for you before I get you out of here so you can probably get some rest.
just do it. You could talk yourself out of whatever you want to do a
Yeah.
million ways. Just do it. You want to write a comic? Start writing. You want to hire somebody? Hire them. Like just do it. Put yourself out there. You'll be surprised how much the universe will work with you if you
Mm,
take that first step. Like a little story. I was supposed to have a different artist for the Ace Volume 1. Uh,
really?
yeah, I had a friend who I was cool with. He's a very talented artist, completely different style, but like he was into what I was doing, and I hired him. He did 3 pages,
Mm-hmm.
and then he had like somebody got sick, and he had to drop out, and that left me basically just like, oh, yeah. I thought I was gonna start making a comic book. I'm fucked. A month later, Canales was hired on the book, and all systems were go. Uh, that's how the universe has been. Every time I've had somebody for a cover that fell through, I was able to reach out to Donald. Actually, I did have the art. There's supposed to be somebody doing the cover for Volume 1. That wasn't Donald.
Mm-hmm.
He, wasn't able to get it out to me on the time that I needed. Reached out to Donald like that. Cover done. Like all this stuff, like door closes as long as you make the attempt, the universe will work with you, and you'll find your way. Like there's been stuff where like different artists, different situations have popped up, and stuff that's just falling on my lap. But it's just because I've been proactive. I've been looking for artists. I've been getting scripts done. Like I had the script for the Viking story done a while ago, before I even really reached out to Avery for it. And then
Mm,
something kind of happened, and I was able to reach out to him, and he was free to do it, and we got it done. And then I found another letter. Like I found SK. SK super amazing,
mm-hmm.
super quick. I love working with him. I'm glad to have him on Volume 2. and he just lettered the hell out of the Viking story. I think he's the reason that the ace, the Viking story got picked up by Alterna, just because like SK is really good. And like I said, I knew Peter's very selective, so I knew if SK did his thing on it, like he would get it. And like I said, it got picked up by Alterna. And all these things just happened because I've been proactive and I've been getting it after it. Like I haven't waited and kind of hemmed and hawed and talked myself out of it. Submitted to Alterna, like that's scary, man. Like I've had friends who submitted to Alterna and be like, no thanks. Like that's not easy, but here we go. That's it. Send it. Like whatever happens, happens. And all this stuff just keeps snowballing is because I've been proactive. And I think like if you just take that first step, it'll work out for you. Just take the step.
I love that about you because you are so passionate about whatever it is that you're working on. And, your passion speaks high volumes. A lot of people, they do something just to do it, to get it done, but you're passionate and you're invested in everything. And I mean, it's crazy to me when I think about our first interview and how you were basically just saying like comics were newer to you in an aspect. It's just so crazy to me because there's so much growth, and I can see the growth in these pages, and just with the story you did with Alterna and hearing that you did fantasy. I can't even believe I missed that one. That's the book I backed too. So
I'm
that's
super,
crazy.
super proud of that one too. I can't wait till
I'll give
get
you
that
some
in my
feedback.
hands.
I will definitely give you some feedback. I feel all of that is so inspiring. It's so inspiring. So, on that note, I think we should just take off for the evening. So, I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for coming on, Edwin. It's always a pleasure. You'll be back on with Bloodbone.
Yes, I'll be
Or
back.
your next campaign, you will be back on early in the game. I'm getting you early. I don't care. Message me 80,000 times. Message Spencer
Thanks,
and
Aaron.
tell him if he's busy, it got to go down. That's just what it is. Getting you on early. All right. And to everybody that is watching, thank you so much for coming out every week. And make sure you back the Ace Volume 2 today. And I'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.